Do you want to hear what my neighbors hear all day as I try to learn how to scream? This is going to be so cringe. We're going to do it. I sound like a baby pterodactyl. The actual topic of this video is going to be modalities in astrology. So we're sitting here at a horrible angle. I'm very cozy, basically just in my bar stool. We're going to talk about cardinal versus fixed versus mutable signs. This was a comment I got, and I do skim through comments. I usually look for like keywords. So I don't have the time to look at every comment because I have so many hundreds of thousands of videos up at this point that I cannot look through all of them. It's just a treadmill of notifications. But I do try to look at the major ones with like words that really stand out. So when I hear like video, when I see video idea, sometimes I even filter by video idea or video because I can tell it's someone bringing up an idea. And one person had the idea for cardinal versus fixed versus mutable signs, known as the modalities in astrology. And this describes the manner in which they exhibit energy. This describes the way that they operate in the world and is a really good, it's very well described by the seasons. So the cardinal signs are all when the sun is starting that season. Aries is the beginning of spring, Cancer's the beginning of summer, Libra's the beginning of fall. Shit, things are falling everywhere. Okay, that was just gonna, whatever. Capricorn is the beginning of winter. So the cardinal signs start their respective season. Fixed signs are the middle of their respective season. Taurus is the middle of spring. Leo is the middle of summer, Scorpio is the middle of fall, and Aquarius is the middle of winter. And mutable signs transition out of seasons. Gemini transitions from spring into summer, Virgo transitions from summer into fall, Sagittarius transitions from fall into winter, and Pisces is winter into spring. And all of those things are great for describing the manner in which these things do energy in that way. So all of the cardinal signs initiate and catalyze. Their manner of being is to begin things and get the ball rolling. They are not the best at maintaining steam or the best at transitioning. They're the best at getting the ball rolling, of creating the plan, and of motivating others to do the thing with them. If you have prominent cardinal placements, you might find that you're a serial like entrepreneur or starter. You're not the best at being the dependable, same place, same time, execution type role, and you're also not the best at seeing what needs to be fixed and working on it. You tend to be the visionary, the starter of things, notifications off, the growth around things. You are the firecracker in the beginning. Aries tends to be more of the firecracker of like excitement and of enthusiasm. Cancer tends to be what is emotionally instigated and what needs to be protected or maintained. Libra tends to be the social initiator of how to reduce conflict and provoke well-being socially. And Capricorn tends to be the overall tactical game plan of what do we need in real time to start. So cardinal signs are the instigator, the starter, the leader. They are not the best at maintaining or the best at adapting. Now, fixed signs represent the middle of their respective seasons, and therefore fixed signs are great at maintaining and holding steady at something. They are the dependable rocks, they are the tried and true, they are the stubborn, they are the solid. Taurus is the epitome of spring. It is flourishing, very fertile, very creative energy. Leo is the epitome of summer. It is hot. It is the center of attention of the year in a lot of ways. It is fun. It is lively. Scorpio is the epitome of fall. It is cold, but not quite like ice cold, almost like no heart. It is the like descent into darkness, spooky season. And Aquarius is the epitome of winter. It is barren. It is ice cold. It is completely like neutral, basically. So because these signs are all in the middle of their season, they represent the epitome of something and are therefore very bold statements on what they represent. So Taurus is great at holding steady around creative, fertile-based things, such as art projects or anything that is more lively and growing in nature. Taurus is great at holding firm so that things can grow alongside it. Leo is great at maintaining a sense of self and the center of attention. So Leo is great at entertaining, putting on a show, making sure that the room is lit up and that there's something to look at and to glow. Scorpio is great at maintaining emotional intensity and holding that firm connection to something emotional in order to provide the value, the appreciation, or the vendetta against what they think deserves that. And Aquarius is great on holding firm around their ideas. Aquarius is fixed air. It is the concentration of ideas. Therefore, it represents what incredible work can come together when we are sitting firm in what we believe and therefore providing to the world. So because of that, they are good at holding steady in what each of them represent, and they are best at maintaining a project through. They're not the best at motivating others and getting the ball rolling, and they're also not the best at adapting and solving the issues along the way. They are the middle ground, sticking to something and seeing it through. Now, mutable signs represent the transition from seasons. Therefore, they are very adaptable, flexible, on their toes energy. They are not going to be the sign that kicks off the project or wants to lead. They also get bored very easily, and they do not want to be stuck in the middle of the same thing. They respond best when they are responding. They do not want to be the first person to act. They want to bounce off of you. They're great at fixing things, at transitioning between things, at taking something from one stage to another. They are the joints that connect things and migrate from one topic to another. So Gemini is spring going into summer. It is things heating up, it is things becoming more bubbly, and it is the transition of ideas. It revolves around banter, discussion, improving ideas as we dialectically bounce off of one another. So it's great at discussion or transitioning ideas and viewpoints. Virgo is the transition from summer into fall. So it's very much like, if you think about harvest energy, what do we need to save and what needs to be thrown away? It is very much, things are dying, what do I take with me to make sure it survives? So Virgo is a detail-oriented eye that looks for problems and how to fix them. So innately, Virgo is looking for what is worth saving out of all this bullshit, because it's all bullshit. What is worth saving? Like, the ship is going down, what do we try to take with us in the life raft? That's very much Virgo. It's a very discriminating, very detail-oriented energy. So both Gemini and Virgo are ruled by Mercury, but Gemini is masculine Mercury. It's let's get the ideas up and out and refine them. Virgo is feminine Mercury. It's let's dissect that down and trim down the edges of this. Now, Sagittarius is the transition from fall into winter. So we are going, I think about how when you're going downhill, it's wee, that is Sagittarius energy. It's not spooky season like Scorpio, and it's not dry, barren season like Capricorn. It's the wee, that's what I think of, is kids throwing up the roller coaster meme. So Sagittarius is great at no fucks given, diving deep into things. It's let's go for it. Let's adventure, let's explore, let's transition from boredom here into experience here. It's transitioning faith, it's transitioning viewpoints. It is great at, Sagittarius is the best at believing in something very firmly and enthusiastically and then being fuck it, I have new information. A Sagittarius does not have pride over being politically correct usually. It's usually wants to be morally, it wants to feel morally it wants to feel morally comfortable. Therefore, Sagittarius will adjust its viewpoint, will bounce around, not in a flaky way. That's gonna be more Gemini. But a Sagittarius is going to be more open to an experience changing their perspective and very willing to be fuck it, I don't take life seriously. Let's just roller coaster ride around. So it's the motivator to transition viewpoints or get into a more exciting frame of mind. Now, what's the Pisces? Pisces is the transition between winter into spring. So ice is melting, basically. We're going from cold and in our shell into surrounded by each other and more open. So Pisces is the transition from being emotionally closed off into feeling everything. It is great at spreading feelings, it's great at spreading conviction, and great at making you feel alongside it. So Pisces is very much going from tightly held into the open, into the giving. Pisces is great at giving energy, of taking something that was once protected and spreading it out to the masses. They are eternal giving unconditional energy. So the mutable signs are not going to be what starts or begins, and they're conversely definitely not going to be what holds firm or is bored. They're going to be what is transitioning and spicing up as things continue on in life. So if you have a lot of one particular modality, you might resonate with the traits of that sign. And everyone is going to be a mix of these things because no one is always a leader or always a steady person or always a follower. So if you have your sun, moon, or rising in one of these particular signs, it might show that if you have your sun in a fixed sign, your ego is very firm and you don't like to transition. But if your moon is in a mutable sign, you feel very emotionally secure transitioning between different kinds of emotions. And maybe you have a cardinal sign ruling your fourth house of family, so you like to be the leader of the family, but like your other placements are immutable signs, so you like to lead family but like follow in career or relationships. So you can use the qualities of your own chart, look at the planets that are in that modality, look at the house that that corresponds with, and that will show you the area of life around that. So you can say that I have a Libra moon in the 10th house. I like to lead emotional stability and minimize conflict. I like to be the one that makes sure there's no fucking conflict here. You bring in fighting, you bring in conflict. Oh my God, you've caused me a world of trouble. Like, Jesus Christ, can we all be fucking nice? And it's in the 10th house of career. So I prefer to lead career atmospheres of social perfection and zero conflict. If you work for me, you know this. You're mean in the chat. Oh my God. Like the audacity in my, like, no. However, for example, my Leo placements, Mercury, Venus, Mars, are in the 8th house, which is finances. I prefer to kind of just like hold steady financially. I have a lot of volatility because of crypto and the fact that like some months I'll spend a ton, some months I don't spend at all. Like it just depends on my life. I don't have time to be responsible in a very adult way. Like I'm a young girl in her 20s. Like life is too short. I'm fucking done with like preparing for the future. No, live here now, deal with things tomorrow. Just make sure you have enough to like eat over the next few months, for example. But Leo in the 8th house shows that I prefer to be more in the steady holding firm in a financial situation. So even if I'm like trading or investing in crypto, I am in that. I am not out here doing Tesla call options also. I am in that. And Leo is like me. So I feel like it's me. And then my sun is in Virgo, a mutable sign in the 9th house. So my ego and it being in the 9th house of higher education and philosophy is I'm very interested in transitioning and perfecting my beliefs over time. There is never a perfect belief, there's never a perfect ideology, but as a Virgo, I ironically feel very like I want the universe to continue to humble me belief-wise. And I feel like people who actually watch my content and know me can see that, where my beliefs and my orientation towards anything from political to religious to preferences, I always feel like I'm like being asked, I ask the universe to repeatedly annihilate my beliefs so I can perfect them more. And it's human nature to always want to defend beliefs, but like as a former philosophy student, and I just feel like I'm always like, give me better information. Always. I'm the first to be like, that was a fucking horrible thing of me. Like, or just mindset. Like me thinking that I was so fucking naive in crypto for so long, thinking that yield and APR came out of like lending, not people fucking around scheming. So I am so like, oh my God, I just want to like eek. Or prior me being like an incredible social justice warrior, like, oh my God, so fucking naive. I was just shilling for corporations, basically. Not that anyone followed me then, so it doesn't matter. But like as a Virgo, in that the sun in the 9th house, I feel incredibly, I want to refine and transition. Like I want to bounce off of my prior self. It's not about me leading a belief system, really. It's more about me refining like my own along the way. So I hope that this helps describe modalities in astrology and what that means. What time is it? It's 7:38. I should go on a walk. How many steps do I have today? 5,000. So I barely done any walking, really. In New York, that feels like nothing. I like to go on like a little bit of a walk every few hours. I've been sitting here doing readings and learning to scream. Maybe this is a very strange observation, but I feel like growing up, Target was fun. Like going to Target was fun growing up. Now going to Target is literally energetically foul. Like I just walked into the Times Square Target that like just opened. Foul energy. Maybe it's just the Times Square common denominator. I don't know what the fuck happened. But anyway, I'm gonna head out. I'm gonna get to bed. It is late. I will see you in the next one.